Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Valeria or Fluorescence UV. Today we're going to do something super special, super fun. I got this makeup palette for Christmas and I've been so excited to do 3 looks in one palette, and here is the next bad boy into my series. Now this is colorful yumminess, so if you're excited to see what I come up with, what makeup looks, just so you know, I will have timestamps of the demos and the review here in the screen, so then if you want to fast forward to see if I like it or not, then you can find out. Just keep on watching because you're in for a ride with these looks. These looks are popping. Spoiler alert. Get it? Okay, I see you. First thing we're using is the eyeshadow primer potion. I'm just using my fingers. This is from Urban Decay. It is the first eyeshadow primer that I ever bought, so I just wanted to use it up. You know, use my products. Don't forget about the OGs. And I'm just putting that all over my lid with my fingers. Then I went in with my Wet n Wild crayon in the shade Black. It's like a eyeshadow pencil, and I'm just using that to use a black base because the first look is very smoky, very dark, and the shimmery shade looks really good with a black base. So that's all I decided to do. I'm just using my Weekend Festival set collection from the eye brushes, just using that to blend it out, and I'm just making sure I cover all of my lid and don't bring it up too high into my crease. Now to use the palette, I'm going in first with Zero Gravity, and I'm putting that all over my crease. I'm just blending out the black and putting that as my transition shade. I'm not using anything else because I do want it to keep it smoky. I'm focusing it, just bringing it up, blending it out, and bringing it into my crease and winging it out in my outer V, as you can tell. And this is just going to take a lot of time. I know I sped up through it, but it does take a lot of time and patience just to blend out this gray. I thought this gray blended out beautifully and it looks so smooth. It's not patchy even with the black base, and I think it just makes it look super cool. Then I go in with a clean blending brush to smoke it out and to blend it out. This is the trick for black smoky eyes. You need a lot of blending and a lot of clean brushes just to keep going back and forth. Now you see I can go back in with my first brush and just blend, and then I switch into my clean blending brush and then just blend. After that, I go in with black matter and put that all over my lid with my finger. I felt that using my finger for these metallic eyeshadows are the best way to get the most pigment. And as you can tell, that shit is popping. It looks so good and pretty. I really love how smoky this came out. Then I'm using another clean blending brush just to mix both of the shades of Black Matter and Zero Gravity together, smoke out my eyes, going in again with Zero Gravity, putting that in my lower lash line. Even here, you can just tell how blended this is. These are so easy to blend. You just do have to have a little bit of patience and a lot of time to practice. But look how good they look. I love it. And if you ever feel like you need to blend, you can just blend right away. Then I did want to match my lower lash line, so I decided to go in with Black Matter and put that on my lower lash line just so you can see it looks cohesive, and it just gave me more dimension into my eyes. For my inner corner, I decided to go in with a Solstice. Then I wanted something more lighter, so I went with Eternal Light just to make it a little bit more white instead of not too pink, so it looks like a baby pink now. And there you have it. So here we are. This is the final look right now. What I am going to do is like a rundown of all the face products that I have. I just feel like this is a lot easier than doing a voiceover and explaining it. For primer, what I used was my Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, the primerizer and moisturizer. I did feel my skin was a little bit dry, so that's why I used it. I did try to go for like a full night out type of smoky eye, so I needed something like full coverage and something that will look good at nighttime. So I went in with these foundations, which is my Makeup Forever HD Ultra HD foundation in Y335, and because it's a little bit too dark, I went in with my LA Girl Pro Coverage concealer. It's hydrating and in the shade Fair, just to lighten it up. For concealer, I went in with my e.l.f. Tan Walnut Concealer. Not my favorite, but I'm trying to finish up products, so this is what I used. For powder, what I used was my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 10 OG Drugstore Balm. Going on to bronzers, what I used was my Wet n Wild contour stick in the shade Oaks on You, and then I used my Milani Silky Matte bronzer in the shade Sunlight, which is 01. I don't know why, I was just mixing from drugstore and high-end. I love mixing both. I like using both of them all the time. So for blush, I use my Hourglass Luminous Flush Ambient Lighting Blush. That's a tongue twister. It's long as hell. But this is like a very nice pinky purple color. I thought it was going to go perfect for this mauve and purple grayish eye look. For my favorite part and the thing I love the most, highlighter. I don't know about you, but I never wear just one highlighter. I have to like pack on multiple highlighters, and that's exactly what I did right now. So for highlighter, I used my Artist Couture Supernova Diamond Glow Powder, which is a loose highlighter. It gives that like blue purple hue, and when you're looking away, you can actually see very pink. And then I used my Sleek Makeup palette, which is Cleopatra's Kiss highlighting palette, and I used the pink one more on my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, also on the highest points of my cheekbones. Like, super glittery and it's very brightening, so I think it just complemented the look even way more. What I used for my lashes was my Tati Lashes collaboration with Mama Mitchell. So these are the Mitchell lashes. I don't like these lashes, but I think they go perfect with this smoky eye because they're there. I feel like these lashes make my eyes look very small, and I'm not really used to them, but it is what it is. I'm trying to, you know, use my products. For eyeliner, I was actually very impressed. I used my Urban Decay 24 Glide On Eye Pencil in Desperation Bomb. I think this matches my eyes perfectly. It looks really good in the waterline. It's nice not to have a black on your waterline. If you don't have this and you don't want to buy it, just use a black waterline, you know, you'll be fine. Mascara, I use my ColourPop BFF mascara. I don't like this one, so don't get it. I'm just trying to finish it up. What do you think of this look? Would you wear it on a night out? I would. I love this. I don't think the shirt is appropriate for what I'm like, for the look that I have, but I just, you know, I said fuck it. I was lazy to change. Now let's go on to the next look. Starting off with this, I go again with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I just didn't show the product, but that's all I'm really using. Then I go in with my Lunar Eclipse. I am going to do a halo eye. So the usual, you make sure you put the Lunar Eclipse eyeshadow shade in your inner corner, in your crease, and in your outer corner so it can connect. As you can see, this eyeshadow is super pigmented, but they're so easy to blend, and that's all you keep doing. Just keep packing and blending, packing and blending. Then I go in with a clean brush just to blend out my outer corners, and it looks beautiful. Once I'm done with that, I go back in with my ABH brush, the one that comes in their palettes, and I just blend everything out, and I go back and start packing more eyeshadow because I just do feel like I did lose a little bit of pigment. And once you pack it in, you can just see the vibrancy of the eyeshadow come back to life. Now for halo eyes, just make sure you blend, blend, blend. Then I go in with Storm Dust in the outer corners and the inner corners of my eye just to deepen it. And you can see I make sure it doesn't go above my crease, and I just pack it on first and then slightly blend it, very slightly. I'm just bringing it into, I'm not even making sure that it touches the middle of my crease. I'm just trying to blend it a little bit upwards just to define the inner corner and the outer corner of my eye. Going with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, I decide to cut my lid just to give myself a halo eye. and I just decided to go a little bit above my natural crease, so that when I have the shimmer shade, it makes my eye look bigger and the shimmer shade doesn't get into my MAC. That's the trick to it, and just keep going back and forth and just try to blend out the outer corners of the concealer. Then I go in with the brush, and I do decide to use a little bit of Storm Dust to deepen my crease right above the concealer. And I decided to go in with my NYX glitter glue and put that on the top of my halo eye, because I do feel like these eyeshadows are a little bit hard to get pigment, so that's what I decided to do right there. The color I went in with is Solstice, and I just put that on the top of my halo eye. After that, once I feel like it's blended out, I decided to go in with Fireball, and I'm just using my finger to pack it into my eye. And it's right below Solstice, and I just think it makes a very cool transition into the dark and browns, and it's so really pretty with the halo monochromatic eye look. Then I go in with Storm Dust again, just to deepen out my crease one more time. And to blend, I just make sure I go in with my eye, go back and forth, tap, and that's how easy it is to do the halo eye. Now for my lower lash line, I go in with Storm Dust, and I just go halfway into my eye. I don't go in all the way because I do want it to keep it light. Just make sure you blend out your lower lash line. Then after that, I decided to go in with my Fenty Beauty highlighter, which is Mean Money and Hustle Baby. And I do that, put that in my inner corner and in my lower lash line to highlight my eyes. Using a small little pencil brush just to blend everything out. And I use an Urban Decay eyeliner, liquid eyeliner, that is a dupe for Fireball, and I just wanted to emphasize Fireball a little bit more, so I decided to put it right over. As you can tell, these look the same, so it was awesome. Then again with Eternal Light, I decided to give myself a little bit more glimmer, a little bit more highlighted look, and I put that in my inner corner and my lower lash line. I go in with my Fireball Urban Decay 24 Glide On eye pencil, and I just do half of my waterline, and then I go in with Starfire eye pencil from Urban Decay just to mimic what's going on in my lower lash line. After that, I go in with my Buxom Plump Line lip liner, and then I go in with my Havana Nights from Ofra Cosmetics and put that on my lips just to deepen it, and you can just see it matches the terracotta color of the lunar eclipse and the dust storm. Because I thought it was a little too dark, I decided to go in with my Maybelline Superstay Liquid Lip In Driver number 55, just to give it a little bit more of a brighter color in the middle. And there you have it. That's the look right there. This is what I came up with because this is such a monochromatic look. It has so many pinks and oranges and red tones. Kind of wanted to stay in that theme. So moving on forward, what I did start with was with my primer. I used my MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base. This is super hydrating. I felt my skin was a little bit dry. That's why I used it. Now then I went with my Zoeva Natural Luminous Foundation in the shade 140N Energetic. Love this. Then for concealer, I just went in with my Tarte Tape Shape. I went with light neutral, and then I went with light medium under my eyes, light neutral in my forehead, nose, and chin, just to brighten everything out. For my under eye powder, what I did use was my ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Translucent. Then, because I felt like I had to set my face, I went in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 23 Nude Beige. For bronzer, I went in with my Sephora Collections Bronzing Face Powder, and the shade is Costa Rica number 6. I just felt like I needed to be warm orange tone bronzer. I just think it went really well with the colors. For blush, I have a blush combination, and I went in with my Laura Geller Bake Gelato Viva or Vivid Swirl blush in papaya, and I put that more in the apples of my cheeks. Then with my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in Captivating, I went in the back. So I kind of wanted this to be more centered and then kind of blend it out to the back, more softer. So that's what I use this for. For my lashes, what I actually used were my Ardell Wispies. I just felt like I needed something soft, wispy looking for my halo eye. A1 sauce looks so fabulous. And oh, I almost forgot my highlighter. I went in with my Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Mean Money and Hustler Baby. Hustler or Mean Money was used more in my inner corner just as a highlight shade. Hustler Baby was put all over my highest points of my cheekbones. This is the final look right here. Now let's get on to the last look. Okay, so going on with the next look, I use concealer as my eyeshadow base, and I just use my e.l.f. Cosmetics eyeshadow, and I first go in with Astrid Lust, which is the purple in the palette, and I just pack that into my lid and try not to go above my crease. That's always the key for smoky eyes. Then with Lucid Dream, which is the magenta color, I start blending the Astrid Lust up into my crease, and most of it is Lucid Dream on my crease. So then just to bring up the Astrid Lust again, the purple a little bit higher, I just keep on packing it and blend, blend, blend. These are the tricks to nice eyeshadows. You just have to blend. I decide to make it a little bit deeper in my crease, and so I go in with the Astrid Lust, and then I go back and forth with both of them, which is that Lucid Dream and Astrid Lust. This is the easiest look that I created, and it's one of my favorites just because of how multi-dimensional it got. Now the trick is always just to keep on packing, keep on blending, keep on making the colors, and you know, if you feel like you lose pigment, just don't be afraid to go back in with the eyeshadows. And you have to make sure you always switch brushes too for the right proper brushes. So to use for my metallic eyeshadow, I'm going in with my NYX glitter glue just to make it pop as bright as possible. And I'm going to go in first with Electric Amethyst with the brush, and I'm packing that all over my lid. It's a very pretty purple with blue reflex, and I just put that all over my lid. But then I felt like I needed more dimension, so I went in with Stargaze, and that gave me the blue pop-up stand teal. So it's like a blue with teal reflex, and you can tell just once I pack it into my eyes how much more dimension it has. And it does have a little bit of a holographic purple shift to it, so I just thought it was so perfect for these two metallic eyeshadows to be combined. And this is like a galaxy eyeshadow right here. Then going in with my favorite eyeshadow, Eternal Light, into my inner corner. I put that in my inner corner and pack it on, and I also go in my brow bone highlight, and it is one of my favorite eyeshadows for sure, hands down. Okay, so this is the last look I created with the Celestial palette, and this was actually the quickest and the easiest one to do. I'm going to do a product rundown so then you know what's on my full face and you can follow through. Primer, I actually use my Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. Then I went in with my Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. So for concealer, I use my ColourPop in the shade Medium 20, which is my no filter concealer. Then I went in with my e.l.f. Cosmetics 16-hour Cameo Concealer in light beige. I mixed the two of them, got this conjunction. I did use the light beige for my eyeshadow primer, so I did think it makes like a really nice difference. Then I went in with my ColourPop No Filter powder. For my bronzer, I went in with my Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dulce. Been having this for forever. And the last drugstore product is actually my BH Cosmetics 10 color blush palette. And the shade I really used was this, like, I don't know if you can tell, is this like super baby pink shade. I just wanted like doll pink blush on me. Then for highlighter, I broke the drugstore spell and I went with something semi high end. I went in with my Soft and Gentle from MAC. The only thing I have on my lips is my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Sepia. I just wanted something different than a pink lip. I think it just kind of goes together because this is such a warm tone with a cool tone, and then it's kind of like this lip is warm tone but cool tone at the same time, so I think it really goes well with it. And it's something more edgier, more fun to mix and match. If you don't feel comfortable with this lip, if you don't think it looks good, you could just go with a nude lip, you know, pinky nude lip, and then you'll be fine. Oh yeah, and the last thing for my lashes, these are my Time Los Angeles lashes in Extra. I just think these are so perfect for the flutteriness, and you can just see the eye, you can see the sparkle and everything. Now let's get into the product review. Let's talk about the palette. Let's talk about if I liked it or not. Honestly, I love this palette. The only shadow I did not use for my looks was this palette right here, this color, which is Mystic Ice. The only reason why I didn't use it is because I just felt like these purples were a little bit too warm tone for this teal. I did kind of notice something. These shimmery shades, which are the Electric Amethyst and then the Star Glaze, you can actually just use this eyeshadow right here, put it all over the eye, kind of like how I did with the purple, which is the Astrid Lust, and then you can put the Stargaze and the Electric Gaze on top of the teal, and you should be fine. It's a look, and it's kind of, you can just switch it out. Instead of using the purple, you'll just use the blue for this look, and it's easy, super easy. Now let's talk about the palette. I think this is a really good palette. The only thing is I feel like this palette is very pigmented and very strong, so you don't have colors to like blend out with. So I feel like you have to use other palettes if you want to make certain type of things. Don't get me wrong, this is my first time trying Dominque Cosmetics, and I really think her palettes are, or the eyeshadow pigment is there for her mattes. The ones that are kind of gimmicky are the metallic ones. I feel like these two metallic ones gave me such a hard time. Like, I had to use so much, and I couldn't just use them by themselves with my finger. Like, I feel like the best pigment was with glitter glue, and so, you know, if you have an issue with glitter glue, then that's on you. But this really came in handy for basically all three looks, especially for all the metallics. I think this is perfect for smoky eyes. That's like my verdict. And the three looks I created were fucking beautiful. I'm not even going to complain about that. So yeah, and these, I was more attracted to these cool tones right here, and it's the first look I created, and it's actually my favorite one. This has to be very close. This has to be like my second favorite, just because of how like the blurples glitter, it's just so majestic. But yeah, this one was my favorite. Do I recommend it to you guys? I do, and I don't. I recommend it to the people who know how to do smoky eyes, who know how to blend out, and who have the patience for it. But if you're kind of still a beginner, I don't think this is a palette for you, just because these are strong ass colors, and if you're not going to be like, if you're not used to them, you won't know what to do with them, you know. Personally, I'm a smoky bitch. I love smoky eyeshadows. I love this palette. I do, and I just think it's something creative to add color. So if you're getting into makeup and you're feeling a little bit more confident with your eyeshadow looks, I think you should get this. It's such a good palette. It's really nice. It's $54, but it's really well worth the money that you spend on it. And The pan size is pretty big and it feels like it's really deep in there, you know, like you get a lot of product, so you really get your money's worth. If you're a little bit too shy about this, you can always go with different type of their neutral palettes, which is the cafe latte palette or the cocoa, like it's their neutral palette. They have one and you can test it out with that first, but this one's such a fun palette to like dip your feet into, you know, different types of smokiness. Let me know what you think about the way I did the product rundown after every single video. I just think that was such a fun thing to do because I get to use my makeup, I get to mix a lot of things, and then if I use them, I'm just telling you I'm trying to use it up and I just don't want it sitting in my collection. So let me know if you like that. Let me know which look was your favorite look. Let me know if you're going to get this palette. Comment down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.